Alright, let me show you guys how this stereo or head unit works. Let me set up my tripod here. Yep, that'll work. Just gonna turn this light off so we have no reflection. As you saw, I just walked into the car and I'm gonna start the car. So I think when it came first, I had it in a different setting. Maybe it was connecting right away, but I changed it if I remember correctly. So sometimes I have to hit the car auto for it to connect. But at this time, it didn't really ask me to. Well, it just connected right away, so I didn't have to punch in. To click on anything. But as you can see, because it recognizes my phone, which I'm actually using to record this, it shows my garage door is open. So if I hit that, my garage door closes. Actually, every time I'm close to my house, this comes up. So it knows when I'm getting closer, and it gives me that option. As you can see, it's showing, home and work address. So if I'm somewhere out, I can quickly just hit that instead of punching an address or talk to Siri instead. And of course, I can play my music. I have access to all sort of apps here, whatever I've installed. So all that is available. Of course, Google Map, Teams for my conference calls, my calendar, audiobooks, Apple Maps, music, whatever. All right, if I play something, it's probably gonna stop the video because I'm using the same cell phone to record this, and it's also connected to Apple CarPlay. So yeah, as I suspected, once I hit play, started playing and stopped the video recording. So I'm just not gonna do that now. But yeah, you have access to the maps, music, all the phones and everything, just all there. You can have your text messaging here read to you and all that good stuff. If I want to go to the actual car menus, I just hit this. So since the car comes with just a small screen, basically the actual original car menu is in this section now. That's what the car comes with, and everything else down here and up there is all the integration this company has done with the software of their own. So it's showing basically the RPM in the car. Of course, I'm not driving, so there's no speed there, but as you can see, I have access to all the original menus in the car. So I can go to, for example, cameras or extra features. I like the only thing I honestly use nowadays. The only time I'm not in car autoplay, the auto CarPlay or Apple CarPlay is when I'm basically, maybe I'll just go here because I want to see the 4x4 menu. This shows you the angles the tires are and all that stuff, and it shows you if it's on a normal mode or is it raised or lowered. But even in the raised and lowered, all that good stuff is you have buttons down here. Let me just tilt this so you can see it. So if I'm raising the car, or I push this double and it starts raising the car. So when this is on, basically I know the car is raised. So if I push it down, this is normal. If I push it down one more, this is actually when it's dropping the car down a few inches, or 2 inches, I believe. And if I want to lock it, I hit, I guess I'll hold it. Yeah, hold it, and then it locks. But I should say it locks till you exceed like 30 miles an hour, something like that. It's a safety feature, I guess. So anyways, so you don't really need to really go on the original menu as much. There are other features that this unit comes with, like it has its own navigation, so you don't necessarily have to use the Apple CarPlay navigation or maps or all that. You could actually use this company that made the unit, but I don't think that's I mean, the interface is not as nice as Apple CarPlay. The maps are not being updated, so it's just the same story as having your car manufacturer navigation, which usually is not a good idea anyway. So potentially you can watch your own videos. I really never played with this, but it's not even in English, but you could potentially play you know, even full screen, I believe. You know, whatever you want to watch. See, this is a more full screen, and there's a USB port down there. There's actually a USB port down here on the side of the dash. I think that's one way you can actually basically connect a memory stick or something to the system so you can watch it. But I've never really used this, so I don't know much about it. I can't tell you. There's so many options here. Let me turn that one off. There's so many options and settings that you can play with to change certain behavior of the unit. When I set it up, I played with it and I asked a lot of questions from the manufacturer, but I really haven't touched it since then. So yeah, that's about it really. All I use is really just this Apple CarPlay, and that's really good enough because it gives me everything really I need. I don't see much reasons to go anywhere else. The other interesting thing is I have done a video where it shows you how I converted it. I installed this unit. You are using all the original equipment and the car came with. The only thing you're replacing is there's a watch or clock. It's a clock basically here, and some buttons and all that. You're removing that, but you and all the stereo, like the amplifier, whatever the stereo came with, the head unit, actually it's all the same. It's all Meridian, which is an excellent, really amazing system. Sounds, to me, in my opinion, in this car, it sounds better than any other car I've had. Even higher end car, more higher end cars, I guess, from other brands. But so Meridian sounds really good, and this unit is really using all the Meridian's equipments, like speakers, amplifier, head unit, to get the sound out. It's just you're adding one screen on top, and this screen has its own operating system, so it can actually do CarPlay. That's what's really happening here. The only other something you have to watch out for is I would say, you have to make sure you're on auxiliary. I don't know if it's focusing. Yeah, it is focusing. So it has to be on auxiliary. So if it's not on auxiliary, you won't hear the sound of this system through your speakers. So another way to make sure you're on auxiliary is, as I showed you, you have to make sure this is on auxiliary here, it says, and if it's not, for some reason, you have to go to basically hit console, so it shows you the main menu on your original stereo system basically, and you have to make sure this is on auxiliary. If it's not, then you have to figure out how to get there. I don't remember the exact buttons, but I think you go to maybe here, and then the sources, and then you choose auxiliary. So that's all really you have to do to make sure the unit is working properly, and the sound for your Apple CarPlay is actually coming out from the speakers in the car. Another is sometimes I noticed I have to, it just says waiting and it's not connecting to my phone, and what I have to do is I just turn off and turn on my Wi-Fi, and also turn off and turn on my Bluetooth. I'm not really sure if there's an order to it, but sometimes I have to do that, and then it starts connecting. Maybe I try to see if I can replicate that and then post something about that on it as well, but it's never been a big issue. It's usually I can get it working if it ever happens. Another place sometimes you want to check is actually if you're on your music, on your Apple CarPlay. There are a few options, to connect to different stereo systems that are available, and you want to be on local host, and local host is basically this system here, and that usually solves any issues if you're not hearing the music. Oh, that's about it for now. Let me know if you have any questions. I know it's a little scary to install one of these units in your car, but I gotta turn it around. It's a little scary probably to install one of these in your car, but the reality is it's an amazing car, and to me, that's the only thing is wrong with it. The days of try to, I don't know, use your phone for maps and being distracted and all that is just not, those days are gone in my opinion. So this is an easy way to upgrade your system and use your car comfortably on the road. So I think it's worth it. I don't use all the features as I showed you. I'm usually just using Apple CarPlay, and that's enough for me. I don't have much reason to go to the original console or menus in the car. I don't see why somebody wants to be there, but it's comforting that you have access to it if you ever need to. It's also comforting if you don't know the system, that you can go back to basically what you had or what the car came with. So you're good there. If you don't like the system, you could just literally not use it. But that's it, really. I think I think I summarized it for you. Please let me know if you have any questions or concern. I'll monitor the comments and respond to your questions. Have a good day. All right, guys, so I'm back in the house. I thought about it before I post the video. I thought you might ask me a few more questions, so I'm just going to try to address those. The unit turns on, I would say, pretty quickly. If the car's been off for a while, I think it goes to some sort of a mode that it requires more time to turn on. But if you're using the car like every day or whatever, it's pretty normal. I think it's fine. I've never been bothered by it. The screen response, I would say, is pretty good. Sometimes I think if my finger is in some sort of a weird angle or something, I have to do it twice. But I think for the most part, the system is pretty responsive. The screen quality, I think it's probably even better than new Kenwood system I just got. It's top of a line Kenwood head unit for a different car, and I don't think it's as good as this one. This one is sharp, the colors are nice. So anyways, I like it. What else? All the controls on the steering wheel, they work on, and I can basically change the sound volume or change the songs. Changing songs, it's a little laggy, so I hit the button and maybe 2-3 seconds later it actually changes it, but I've gotten used to it over time, so it's not bothering me. Just pointing it out, so but beside all that, I can't think of anything else, but I'm sure you're gonna have a lot of good questions for me. I got the top of the line back then. I think it has 128, if I'm not mistaken, 128 gigabyte memory, internal memory basically, and it was the fastest chip they offered back then. I think it was a 6-core if I remember. It's been a while, but I didn't go for the minimum, so I just wanted to make sure it's a good, fast, responsive system. Anyways, let me know if you have more questions. We'll chat.